Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Mr. Spencer Fearon. It's Monday morning and it's our regular weekend review. A big night of boxing at the Copper Box in on Saturday. I saw you there looking fly in some snappy suit.
That's nothing new. But like, thank you very much anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I was there with my friend Marlon Morris from the Legacy Foundation. Put a click in the link. They're having a very, very big, massive award ceremony. So I left from the UK Black Business Show. I left straight from there, came down to the boxing. You know what I mean? Massive big up to the Pentecostal Community Bank as well, because they're my people. But it was good to see you there because you were everywhere.
Just trying to get the best content on fight night. Obviously, that was where all the content was. Got some really good videos of Conor Ben, Derek Chisora having a couple of tiffs at the start of the show and the end of the show. And then obviously it was great to get that footage of O'Hara Davis coming to the changing rooms at the end as well. But yeah,
Yeah, that was really, really good.
I'll start with Adam Azim. We'll work our way down the card. Adam Azim, I think a lot of people thought this was going to be a tricky fight and one that his chin will get tested. And obviously, if he cuts any corners or whatever, O'Hara Davis is not the guy for that. O'Hara told me after the fight, this is the best shape he's ever been in. Obviously, you're the expert. You tell me, is he telling the truth? And were you surprised with how the fight played out?
I wasn't really surprised. Simply, even I'm saying, even the best O'Hara Davis, I believe, would have had trouble with Adam Azim simply because Adam is so fast. And when you look at someone like O'Hara Davis, he's a precision puncher. You know, it's like he's very well timed with his shots, right? But he's not a fast puncher. And up against a speedster, and you know what, a youth had a lot to tell with it as well. But you know what, O'Hara Davis, he's been very interesting for boxing. Do you know what I mean? And he kind of modeled himself on this bad guy image wrestler, you know, and it worked for the simple fact that we're talking about him. And O'Hara is not a bad kid. He's actually a nice kid, right? But he worked with the persona so much that he believed the persona, you know what I mean, he believed that personality that he was portraying. But I spoke to Lee Eaton, who manages O'Hara, right? And Lee was saying to me like, "Nah, seriously, we're gonna do it." He was really up, saying like, "We worked really good." And he fair play that he did put in the work because he never put in the work. He'd almost really got stopped in 2 or 3 rounds. You know what I mean? But this is how it goes. You got an old guard, then you get a new guard, and now we're looking at a new guard, and that was an impressive win by Adam Azim. But um, still, I still like to see him and Dalton Grant just get it on. Dalton Smith, sorry, Dalton Grant.
Okay. What did you make of the manner of the win? I think O'Hara told me that he bust his nose, and obviously, again, he said this, not me. He said that Adam was the best out of all the fighters he's fought. His power, and he said his jab was unbelievable.
You know, I believe it because I have never seen someone that fast in a British ring since Joe Kawasaki. Right? I'm telling you this now. I've never seen like sat there live and I've watched loads of Joe Kawasaki's fights from ringside. You know what I mean? When Frank Warren had Sports Network, mate, right? And but Adam Azim's speed of punches, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And not only that, but you know what I mean, defensively, he's pretty sound. So I've got a prop Shane McGuigan. Shane McGuigan's doing a very, very good job with this young man. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to forget where his foundation came from. His foundation actually came from some guy called Babatunde Ajayi, because he was Adam's first trainer. And when O'Hara Davis turned pro, he was O'Hara Davis's first pro trainer as well.
What a story! He'd be a great person to get an evaluation from.
Yeah, we'll get that on the Fight Is Right this Sunday.
Wicked. Is he quicker than Amir Khan?
Do you know what? I'm saying Amir Khan's speed was ridiculous. Amir Khan at one time was the fastest handed fighter in the world. The only reason why I'm saying like Joe Kawasaki was because with Joe Kawasaki, there were constant clusters. If you don't believe me, just go watch Joe Kawasaki's incredible performance that he had against Jeff Lacey. Do you know what I mean? If you don't believe me, right? Just go and watch that fight. And you'll realize what I'm saying. And that was 2005. That was right. Just go and watch that. But Amir Khan is most probably one of the fastest fighters that this country's ever produced. I think the difference is this, right? And imagine they're at the same weight as well. I think the difference with Adam and with Amir Khan, there were more clusters or punches. Like Amir Khan would go, ha, 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 and finish with a left hook, right? Well, Adam, it's like 3 or 4 punches fast, and then he's out, then he's popping at his jab, then he's looking to put in a combination. So yeah, he's ridiculously fast and ridiculously talented. And really and truly, the sky is the limit for him.
Just a percentage question for you then. So a lot of people's opinions, Dalton and Adam was like a 60-40 fight to Dalton. How do you see it now?
I still see it as a 50-50 fight, because one thing that I'm not going to do is disregard the fantastic work that Dalton does. Dalton he's very clever, right? And Dalton, like Adam Azeem fights like a new age fighter, right? He does. He fights like a new age fighter, but he has the level of experience coming from Barry McGuigan, and it's been computed into Shane McGuigan. He's got that. He understands 70s and 80s fighting. But Dalton, how Dalton picks his punches, right? Dalton is like he's Mexican. Just watch how he picks his shots. He's like he's a Mexican fighter. So I would say it's a 50-50 fight, and then we'll see like what goes on from there.
Great stuff. And we've got to speak to you about your guy Anthony Yarde. You know, mixed reviews of his comeback fight. He had been out a long time, and obviously he was probably carrying a lot of baggage into this camp and fight. And I think he had dates moved numerous times. So how did you overall evaluate his performance?
I have to be totally 100 with this. It was a lackluster performance, you know. But I'm gonna be, and I've had this conversation with the problem, not the problem. The problem with Anthony Yarde is he's been into fights, right, which have been 90-10 fights in his favor, right? Then he's gone up, he's missed the rung. Like if you're climbing a ladder, you need that rung to level yourself, to put your feet on so you can climb up to the next level. He's not had many middle ground fights, right? And you know that he can perform at the supposed middle ground fights or all the rest of it, because we saw, you know, just how good he was in the Lyndon Arthur fight, in the second fight. And we know that he was going through a lot of family problems prior to the first fight. So no one can't turn around and say he hasn't got the ability, and he has the ability in abundance. And I just think Anthony Yarde is a very honest person. So I know Anthony Yarde would have gone home and said, you know what, that weren't, I could do way better than that, right? But what I'm taking into consideration is the contractual and promotional stuff that was going on, and the difficulty that he's gone out and done something solo, him and his team with Tundi Ajayi and their lawyer. So I take that into consideration. But the general boxing fan does not care. They're going to look at that and think, oh no, there's no way that you can fight Joshua Buatsi. Now I'm going to say to anybody, do you really think that the Anthony Yarde that you saw on Saturday will be the guy that turns out to fight Joshua Buatsi?
No.
Exactly, right? And like, it's time. There's a synergy that's happening right now, and I'm so looking forward to Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yarde getting it on, just to end the argument, who's the best light heavyweight in the country.
Indeed, I think a lot of fans will be excited to see that one. So the scorecards for his fight, they were quite mixed. How did you score it?
Do you know what? I didn't score it. I knew that he was winning. So I'm not going to say right. I knew that he was winning, and he won comfortably as well, right? But the thing with Anthony Yarde, if we don't see what we're expected to see with Anthony Yarde, we're seeing this Latvian guy come in. If you look at the guy's record, the guy's actually a very good fighter. He's number 15 in the WBA. You know what I mean? He's very clever as well. Very nice guy as well. I've got to add that. So we can't look at the scoring. Anti-Yard won the fight, right? But because it wasn't what we expected to see, then we're like, "Ooh, there must be reservations." But like I said, we know when Anti-Yard turns up, he really does turn up.
And the other light heavyweight on the card, Dan Azeez Louis Edmondson. Obviously, a big outcry about the scorecards, different opinions. What did you think happened there?
I think the general consensus is that Aziz got robbed, right?
That's what
Right,
people are saying.
right. And unfortunately, I had to leave. I was sat. Oh, I got big up Scraps as well. I was sat with Scraps, the rapper, really really nice guy, and I was sat with him to watch the fights. But as soon as Azim beat O'Hara Davis, I had to leave. I've done a couple of interviews. I had to leave because I had to go and get some food. So I didn't see the fight. A lot of people are saying that it was a robbery, but I warned people if like that is wasn't 100% for this fight, that Louis would beat him. Because I've worked on a couple of shows. When I was doing the stuff for MTK Global for their ESPN showtimes, I watched Louis from his conception from him turning professional. It's like three years ago. He's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. But what I'm saying is this: with Dan, I really do feel sorry for him, and the reason why I do feel sorry for him is like he's been a massive overachiever. Right, he comes second best against Joshua Buatsi. There's no shame in that. Joshua Buatsi is excellent, and then scoring doesn't go for you in a fight. And I haven't watched the fight, but a lot of people said that they believe that Dan got bumped. But I'm not taking nothing away from Louis because I was saying to people, this is not a good fight for Dan. This is. So it is what it is. We shall see what's going to happen from here on.
Indeed. No worries, Spence. Well, we're going to have a proper catch up later in the week. Just before I let you go, I've got to ask you, you drove down in the BYD the other day. You've joined the BYD club. How did you find the driving experience?
Let me tell you this now. Yeah, that is actually a fantastic vehicle. So Ryan Smith down at the Sheffield BYD, massive big up to him. If you guys are looking, look, I know Boxing King Media's got a link. Click that link, right? Go and test drive that car. It's an amazing vehicle. I'm just gonna be real. It's an amazing vehicle. I ain't learned out all the gadgets yet because I drove from Sheffield to London without using the cruise control. But don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's adaptive cruise, man. The car literally drives itself. So yeah, good stuff. We'll hopefully get some more content of you in the car to see how Spencer figures.
Yeah, I'm meant to be. I'm doing something for them tomorrow. On an interview of the car. I'm doing something with them tomorrow, and I'm also doing some other little bits and bobs, and I'll be coming down to do the podcast. The podcast that Johnny Nelson and Brendan Ingle,
You always call him Brendan.
Dominic Ingle is doing, right, is absolutely fantastic, right? And they do it in the showroom. So I'll be coming down for that.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you on there, Spence. So yeah, thank you as always, and I'll catch you soon, brother.
Nah, man, take care. God bless, man. Keep up the great work you're doing. Love, bro.
Thank you.